Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. See, I've been watching these riots in France over this so-called Algerian teenager that was shot by the cops over there, and lo and behold, the president over there, Macron, blames social networks for riots in France. Says authorities will take steps to remove sensitive content and to identify those who quote unquote call for disorder on the platforms. And hey, it's predictable. Problem, reaction, and solution. We not ignorant of Satan's devices. Second Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And let me get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 15. Wait, Salakia. Hold on. Hold on, it's not there. That's not it. Ecclesiasticus 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. And this is what's going to end up happening from this. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, say the Lord power Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and shall not find it. Verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Verse 14, they that swear by the sin of Samaria, and say, thy power, thy God, O Dan, liveth. Well, thy God, O Dan, liveth. Because a false God that they was talking about back then is y'all the same niggas coming back, Same wicked niggas coming back. Yeah, that are going to faint for thirst for this word. Thy God, O Dan, liveth, in the manner of Beersheba liveth. Even they shall fall and never rise up again. And this is also sedition among men. But what Esau was doing is just like he did with the BLM protests here in Babylon. Esau is paying people, agent provocateurs, to start shit, to start riots. best believe Esau is paying people, paying agent provocateurs to start to get the people going, to get the people to riot, so that he can then come down with great wrath and push unrighteous decrees, draconian laws. But this is this right here. Because there are people who are genuinely angry about that as well. Second Ezra 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this is a good example of sedition among men. And this is what it's leading to. It's leading to unrighteous decrees. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and their right grievousness which they have prescribed. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, and that widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. And, destruction is coming to them, to these devils. Nukes is going to hit mainly Babylon, but there's other parts of the world that are going to get hit by nukes, but not as bad. But you're going to have other shit happen to them, like pestilences and famines. That's going to hit them. And also, the devils that survive this is going to go into captivity. So, woe, meaning destruction, is coming to these devils that decree unrighteous decrees, draconian laws. Because that's what this devil is getting ready to do, to pass some draconian laws. Because this is what this devil does. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Verse 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. How does he do it? One of his ways is through his unrighteous decrees. He spake as a dragon. And this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And it's all about clamping down on this truth. That's why these devils, they create crises like them riots in France. That's why they do it, to come after this truth. It's not because of any other reason that people say they do it, those are just the side effects of what this devil is doing, which is he's coming after this truth, and he'll do anything. Like they'll do anything. They'll create any type of crisis, and they'll say, oh, they'll cause a reaction, problem. They'll create a problem, and it'll cause a reaction. And it could have been what happened in the U.S., like what happened in the U.S. with George Floyd. It could have been that similar situation, which some people say that George Floyd that whole thing was set up, but we don't know. Either way, these devils were trying to provoke Jake. That's why they had him shot. Cause when you look, there's just details about it that make it that when you look at it, yeah, you could tell that was a planned event, whether they murdered the dude or not, whether maybe was a sacrifice or not. But yeah, man. Anyways, and then you probably had the agent provocateurs in the mix. Probably had them people that was paid to riot, just like what Esau did in these other countries, like the Arab Spring back in 2011. Had like he's basically doing like color revolutions, right? Those types of events. Esau is basically doing that, but to his own so-called countries to justify cracking down and passing unrighteous decrees. Because this devil will stop at nothing. The scriptures say that they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Yeah, for they sleep not. I'm going to get the verse before it. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. Verse 17, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. They're always thinking of mischief. They're always thinking of ways to bring people down, especially us. And, especially us, because Psalms 83, verse, like it says in Psalms chapter 83, going all the way down to verse 8, These devils and these heathens plot against us. Keep not thy silence, O power Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Most High, power Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. The name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. Edom, the so-called white man. Ishmaelites, the Arabs. The Arabs, yeah. Of Moab, the so-called Chinese. And the Hagarenes, those are the ancient Egyptians. Because Hagar was an Egyptian. Verse 7, Gebal and Ammon. Gebal, more Hamites, Canaanites, and Ammon. So Gebal would be so-called Africans. And Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and Amalek, the 48ers. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, they're more so-called Africans, which sold our people, which sold the so-called black man to the so-called white man. They're not the same people as the so-called black man, Latino man, and Native American man or woman. Verse 8, Assur is also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. So all these nations conspire against us. At their summits, at their UN meetings. You know, at their G8, well, G6 summits, at their UN meetings and shit. At their Bilderberg meetings, at all the crafty counsel, the crafty counsel of the wicked. The scriptures speak about the crafty counsel of the wicked. About the secret counsel of the wicked. Psalm 64 verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Verse 3. Who at their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And what are those arrows? Well, they use their tongues to create decrees, right? Conspire to create unrighteous decrees. They whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Oh, verse 6. Remember how I said they stop at nothing? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yup. And problem reaction solution is one of their methods they use for accomplishing these different goals. These different goals that they want to accomplish, such as taking away the right to free speech, which would bring about the famine of the word.
Good morning, Keith.
Alright, so yeah, so we're getting closer to the famine of the word that has been prophesied. And Esau may use civil unrest that he caused to bring about unrighteous decrees to cause the famine of the word. That is one way that Esau may bring it about, just like he's doing in France. So be aware of that. Well, with that, I hope this live was edifying. I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity and shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. Abba Babal, dead to Babylon. Abba La Adawamim, dead to these other nations. And Abad Wa and Abad. Well, Abad La Adawamim means dead to Esau. Abad La Gawa, well, dead to the Edomites, to be exact. That's what Abad La Adawamim means. Abad La Gawayim, dead to these other nations. And Abad La Ayub Yamnawa, dead to our enemies, the rest of them being your wicked 2/3 Jakes, aka 2/3 of you so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and you speckled birds here and you speckled birds, aka Israelite foreigners here in the States, here in Babylon, as well as you wicked Northern Kingdom and you wicked Israelites that live outside of Babylon, you rebels. Y'all are gonna be destroyed as well. But you 2/3 are gonna be destroyed if Jacob's trouble don't take you out. The nukes will. With that, hope this live was edifying. I hope this video was edifying. Shalom, stay strong, and Yasharallah forever.